The Community Environmental Protection Alliance, CEPA, is an organisation founded by families and communities affected by industrial wind turbine developments in Ireland. Our mission is to safeguard natural resources, promote sustainable practices, raise awareness about environmental issues, advocate for environmental regulation policies, and nurture collaboration among community members. At the heart of our mission is the protection of public health, well-being, and the environment. Please visit our website for more information and help us by signing our petition for wind regulations. Thank you for watching.
Hi, good evening, everybody. We are here now this evening to share our experiences, to have a talk about wind turbine developments that are being installed and the ones in operation in Ireland. So I just want to welcome our guest members, Kira and Stephen. Thanks for coming. Yeah, so if you want to start the talk, Kira, please go ahead. And during the podcast, we are going to be sharing some important links, important information. So please just stay with us. Thanks.
Hi, Bianca. Hi, Stephen. I suppose I live in an area called, it's near Lemonaghan. So it's a piece of bog. Lemonaghan bog is a piece of bog that's surrounded by communities, different communities. So there's a few villages and towns, and then there's the rural houses as well. So there are about 320 homes surrounding the bog within a 2-kilometre radius. The proposal by Bord na Móna is to build a wind farm consisting of 17 220-metre turbines. So we, as a community, we really didn't know anything about it until during COVID back in 2021 when there was lockdowns. And our consultation process was basically getting information shoved through letterboxes. There was no consultation. There was no public consultation. None.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. They were inviting people to engage with them, and some members of the community did engage with them, but it didn't really, it didn't do any good, basically, because this is their plan, and they were planning to go for planning permission because of the size of the development. They go straight on board Planola.
Yes. Okay.
So, in fairness to it, the development plan, the council development plan, Offaly County Council development plan, this would have been it would have been zoned for wind energy, but unknowns to people, because there was no real consultation about that either.
And it's a very fragile area as well, isn't it? It's a bog.
Hugely. It's a bog. And we've seen all over the country where turbines have gone up in bogs, and it hasn't exactly worked very well. So I suppose the stage we're at the moment is they have joined with SSE, and we just got notification in the last couple of weeks. There's actually people around the area that still haven't got official letters. Some of us have, but just to let us know that this is the next stage, that they've joined with SSE and that they will be applying for planning permission maybe later on the year, towards the end of the year. But that's the first notification that we've got since at least 2022 anyway.
Okay.
So that's where we're at the moment.
And you have a committee as well. How the community
We have a
deal
committee.
with this?
Yeah, like, well, there was always a heritage committee to do with the monastic site in Lemonaghan, and like in fairness to it, the preservation, like there was a conservation plan done in conjunction with the Heritage Council and Offaly County Council back in 2007, and that had been worked on for years. Like that had been worked on from, I think, about 2000. And there was specific, I suppose, things that needed to be put in place and all the rest of it. But like part of that conservation plan actually stated that post-industrial use of the bog, post-industrial as in the harvesting of peat on the bog, that it would be sensitive to the area, being a monastic site, because it's very, very close to the bog. There's part of it, an old toher actually runs.
If you were to on Google Maps, what would I search for just on Google Maps? What's the best place pinpoint to search for?
Lemonaghan probably.
Lemonaghan.
Yeah, Lemanaghan. Lemanaghan.
Lemanaghan.
Yeah, so I suppose everything is kind of a little bit up in the air, but they're definitely going to apply for planning anyway, even though like there would have been many submissions made. Actually, we had so when they were still working on the county development plan, you had an option to make submissions to the council regarding this, is like obviously the wind energy strategy and all that kind of thing. And we had 2,300 submissions went in from our area asking them to change the plan for the zoning of wind energy here. And basically half councillors voted for it. And
this is what I'm going to ask, if you had support of local
half voted, half, like, and in fairness to it, there are many still support, like huge support to us, really. So this is where we're at now.
Thanks, Kira. Thanks a million for giving your sharing your experience. If any expert or any person that is watching us at the minute and want to help the communities, CEPA, and come in as a guest, and do talks and discussion about these issues, please get in contact through our website.
Email is info@cepa.ie.
Okay, so yeah, you can get in touch as well, and if you want to participate, also sharing your experience, I think is going to be very important to share with the wider community. Thanks, Kira. Now we are going to Stephen.
So can you see my screen here?
I just share now.
My name is Stephen Keogh. I'm living in a place called Castlewarren in County Kilkenny, just outside Kilkenny City, about 8 kilometres outside Kilkenny City. And I'm part of a group down there called Save Our Hills. We are a community there opposed to the industrialisation of our area. Give some kind of scale of what's being proposed in terms of wind farms in our area. You can go to saveourhills.ie, and on that you'll find a location map here. Down in that location map, there's a Google Maps, which basically outlines essentially all the developments that are kind of within about an 8 kilometre radius of my home and the homes around Castlewarren. So this is the Kilkenny of this is the city of Kilkenny here, and if I was to just zoom in here a little bit here, and you'll see here, this is a proposal for initially it was a 10 turbine. There was another two turbines over here, 10 turbine wind farm. It's now down to 8, and they haven't put an application in yet due to just various holdups and stuff, and they're still awaiting to do public consultation on various things and all of that process. So In fact, this wind farm, we only heard about it, if you excuse the pun, got wind of it in a drunken night in a bar, where it all came out, right? When one of the landlords let it all slip, and the landowners here who's involved in the project. So obviously the community, when they heard about it, were not too happy. And the community is made up here of every one of those blue dots that you see on the map here is a home. So there's over 360 odd homes within a 2 kilometer, maybe 2.5 kilometer radius, right? And the red dots there that you see there, they're all the wind farm, they're all the turbines there, right? And to give it a kind of it's hard to see on the map here, but to give an idea, my house is located up here. I'll be 80 meters above the wind farm. So the top of the hill is up here, and basically I'm about here, and I'll be looking down the valley, a hill this side, and they're going to put them down in the middle of a valley, basically splitting one side of this hill to this hill, splitting the valley up here. When I initially heard about this wind farm, I thought, oh, okay, they're going to probably put a bunch of turbines up at the top of the valley up here, which probably would have been closer to me. But I was kind of going, at the time when I heard about this first, I was kind of going, yeah, it's probably not a bad idea when I heard about it first. And then I heard where they were going to actually put it. And then I started doing research into this. I was kind of going, this is utter madness, you know, putting this in surrounded by homes. This isn't a depopulated or a place where there's no homes. Some of the homes here are going to be as close as 600 meters. From some of these turbines that some of them will stretch to 185 meters, which is about 600 feet in the old empirical. So that's the main kind of wind farm that we're objecting to. But as it turns out, we discovered over time that they're actually planning within an 8 kilometer, as I said, zone of my house here. There are 4 proposed kind of wind farms, and then there's two solar farms. There's a solar farm here and a solar farm here. Okay, and then this is the White Hills wind farm up here. This is a 7 turbines, 50 megawatt wind farm, and this is an 8 turbine, again 50 megawatts, all going to onboard. They'll all go to onboard Pleanála. So this one is already gone to onboard Pleanála. It got accepted, and we've put it into judicial review. So we have, and to give you an idea, the applicant for this wind farm managed to apply to onboard Pleanála without the consent of the landowner who they placed 2 turbines on his land. Right. So it's
sorry, Stephen, how did that come about?
We don't really know. They just decided that they were going to apply for a wind farm. They put an application together. The landowner themselves ignored it and just said, "Sure, listen, they won't get planning permission." He just ignored it, or whatever. But thought they'd never get planning permission. But sure, when onboard Pleanála wrote to the applicant and asked them, "Have you got consent from all the landowners?" They just wrote back and said, "Yeah, we do." And so obviously that's gone to judicial review now. It's a bizarre situation.
Oh, look, there's a few people here that would say, "Oh, take the money, like take the benefits," but I don't see.
Yeah, look, you know, if you're, you know, there's people in our area that are taking, you know, they see the writing on the wall when it comes to some farm industry. You know, they know they're going to have to cut their cattle herd. They're looking at their future and they're trying to propose. And unfortunately, they've been flogged this. If they actually look at it correctly, it's actually not as beneficial as they might think in terms of the income, right? And what they're giving up, the rights that they're giving up to their land, you know, and to the folio of that, all of their folio that they, you know, give over to this. The developers have such a stronghold on them.
Also, it's a very delicate situation, because some farmers, they will need, who knows, you know, they are going through difficult times and they need a surgery, for example, and, you know,
Yeah,
have a medical condition.
everybody.
So you never know, you know.
You
So
never
it's
know their
what happens,
situation.
I know, that is dividing the communities.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and they work on that basis. You know, they play farmers off each other and everything in the process of trying to, you know, negotiate where they're going to put turbines, how they're going to get access to turbines, how they're going to get access to put the grid route in, all of those things. You know. So you look at this here, you know, so that's the White Hills one. So that's in judicial review. The Seskin one is waiting an application. It's a slightly smaller wind farm. It'll have to go to Carlow County Council for development. This is a Bilbo wind farm which got plan permission in 2015, and they haven't done anything with it because it's not economically viable to do anything with that currently, as we that's what we believe, and they want to reapply to get bigger turbines in there. Right. And then the blue one here is Girt Hill, which is actually stretching into Leash. This is actually Seskin is actually into Carlow. This is all the Kilkenny Leash border and all around there. So so this wind farm Girt Hill is actually operational, has been for the last 15 years or so. And there wouldn't be too many houses around that, although there are some and that are up there, but not too many. So as you come down, and I can tell you there's about 200 houses more around this wind farm, and probably the same around Seskin as well, right? So it's massive here what they're doing. So all these, by the way, are all proposing to use this line here, this road here, to put in their grid connection to bring it all down here. And then there's a solar farm that they're talking about putting in over here, and they'll connect up with that same grid kind of route. And they're all trying to get down to a substation that's located down around here. Okay, so everything's trying to get to there.
And just one observation, because of all these issues that all these communities are going through, CEPA was born. So this is why we are here, to try to help each other. We are preparing a video. If anyone in your area is interested in doing a map like Stephen made there, we are preparing a video to show you how to do it, right, Stephen?
Yes.
So
indeed.
this will going to be shared here as well. So we will try to share as maximum information to help you deal with these situations.
So you can see what's been proposed, and all that's within kind of 8 kilometers from here. It's probably maybe 10 up to here, right? But you can see, and you start to paint that picture, and essentially you go back to the homepage here. This is starting to not look too unrealistic. Yeah. When I show this to people first, they go, that wouldn't happen. And then when you start describing the map and looking at where things are going, right? And then you start to look at other maps for Kilkenny, right? So if I started to look at up here, this is up in Ballyuskle, where I found out today they're actually proposing 2 more farms up around here and over here, and another one over here, right? So I have to get more details of those. This is another wind farm over in Kilnamana. This is down around coming down into Thomas. This is down into Thomastown here now. Another wind farm they're proposing to put in there, and more solars to go in there. And then you look at this one here. This was granted planning permission. This is Castlebanny wind farm here, a 21 turbine, right? So you take all this. So in my area, I've calculated alone, there's 350 megawatts of power being planned.
That's what I was going to ask. What is your opinion in all this energy?
Well, like if you look at it, take it, there's 350 megawatts of power within 8 kilometers of my house, right? The whole of Kilkenny County currently uses 60 megawatts currently, right? So if we get to looking at the national targets to get 80% of renewable energy, right, by 2030, right? Kilkenny, in its wisdom, for its county development plan opted for 100%, right? Now you kind of go to yourself, 100% of what exactly, right? If the Castlebany wind farm goes in alone, that's 120 megawatts of power in that wind farm, which will be down around here, right? They'll have almost reached their target with that wind farm alone. So you look at what's going on here. You wonder what this power is for. Yes, we're all going to need extra power for we know all of that over the coming years and decades for battery cars and all this kind of stuff, and you can question whether that's worth it or not. But we know a lot of this is going to be used for data centers. They're planning a data center somewhere around the outskirts, around the ring road here at Kilkenny, right? And a single data center will probably use anything between 60 and 160 megawatts of power. One single data center, right?
Yeah,
So that's what's happening. And if you look at it, what's happening over in Clare and Ennis, it's the same story. If you look at in our area here, with all these houses in here, we objected to our county development plan, very, very similar to Ciara. We had over, I think it was 1,000 submissions in from this small community, right? Relatively small community, in to object. And the bizarre thing was the councillors all agreed unanimously with us, right? But they were told then by the county development plan was adjusted, and a ministerial directive was put on the plan to basically reverse all the changes that were made. Or they were told, Kilkenny County Council, the executive, were told by the Minister for Planning and Local Government, basically you can't do that, or the OPR, the Office for Planning and Regulation, that they couldn't do that. It wasn't part of the national strategy and you had to revert it back. And the really bizarre thing was they made some adjustments and did those adjustments, and it's been sitting like that now for little over 2 years, nearly 2.5 years, under ministerial review. And with that, we've written to the Minister. He won't sign off on it. The OPR have written to the Minister saying, yeah, the Kilkenny County Council, they've done everything we've told them to do, and he still won't sign off on the plan. So at the moment, as things stand, there's an argument now as to there's no wind energy policy now in Kilkenny. So as a result of that, basically there's no strategy as to where things can go. There's no, because he put the map and the targets and another thing under review. There's 3 sections under review.
This is why we are together here.
Yeah.
This is why we put up a petition. So if you go to the live chat, you can see the petition link here. I'm going to share with you guys as well. Yeah, Stephen's showing the website there, Stephen.
Yeah. You go to the website and you can go to petition here, and it'll be available there to you to sign, and stuff as well. If you want to see what the need for regulation, we can maybe talk about that again.
Yes.
But we're in the same boat as everybody else. Essentially, because there's no regulation around all of this whole industry, basically rural Ireland is basically been sold out to all of this renewable energy, so-called renewable energy. Yeah,
we're going to be talking a lot about this in the next podcast as well. One thing I can see, it's the same patterns repeating in each county. Mm-hmm. No communication with people for this from these developments. No respect, because there is no respect if they take lands of farmers, they lie, so we just want transparency in everything. Like we want to know what's happening.
Yeah.
And to educate ourselves, and why not the councils too? We need to educate ourselves.
Yeah, to be fair as well, if you're to look at the responsible parts of the industry, right, they would also say that they need proper regulations and guidelines, right? Because it's not in their interest for all these communities to be objecting to these wind farms, to be bringing them up for judicial review. That is costly on a whole lot of fronts, from the point of view of the cost to that applicant putting in an application, right? Which is, you know, an expensive thing to do, right? And then to have it brought to judicial review, you're going to have legal fees and everything to do that. The communities are having to pay legal fees to defend that, right? And so is the applicant. And at all this time that this is happening, right, we're not meeting our energy targets, right? So it's a double whammy then,
Absolutely.
on that front. So if the industry were going to engage properly and look for the regulation, the proper regulation, then there's clear guidelines for everybody, where a wind farm can go, and what they have to meet in terms of criteria from protecting your health and protecting the environment of these communities.
The communities, they are suffering a lot, and is not.
Yeah, untold,
you know,
untold. You take the example down in Wexford, right? That couple down in Wexford that got that decision on noise nuisance, right? That's 7 years of their lives, right? And it's still going on. It's still not, you know, there'll be another 3 or 4 probably for them to get to a satisfactory result, right? I guarantee you, in, like, let's say it's 10 years at a minimum, right? 10 years, I guarantee you they'll have aged more than 10 years in that time, right?
Absolutely.
As with the stress
yes.
and worry and sleepless nights and all of that that goes with it, you know.
Totally unnecessary.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally and utterly unnecessary. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first, you know, there is such thing as a just transition, and there is such thing as the Aarhus Convention, which states that, you know, you must engage with the communities, and it has to be a fair and open process for everybody, and that everybody's involved.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah, because I think this idea of just being opposite this development, like being anti-wind or you know, NIMBY,
I'm not.
I was called that before, like not in my backyard.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
like
these kind of labels are going now, because people are starting to say that really does damage the area.
So that need for proper regulation, for not only new developments, but for the existing developments that are there, that they have to conform to proper practices and stuff. At our area, right? As I said, this is the area. There's a video there. I can share that up as well on the. Where do I get that in the chat? Is that not there yet? So there's a video that kind of explains near enough what I went through in terms of where all this is at. 372 homes. There you go. And then it outlines. EDF is the company that's going to be that are planning to put it in our area, which I'll state while this is going on. EDF are going to, I'm going to say it now, I've said it to many politicians and to many people, that EDF are going to own the country's power in the next 10 to 15 years. Right? They're going to sell a lot of these wind farms to us. And when they don't work, when they're not working, they're going to sell us the nuclear power from France. So they're going to get subsidized when they don't work, and then they're going to pay us on the double then, or they're going to get paid on the double to sell us the nuclear power from France when they put in the interconnector between Ireland and France. That's what's going to happen. So this is a short video. I won't play it all here, but this is a video just of our area where it is. From my house, I can see 8 counties within Ireland from my house. All right. And this is a drone footage of the area here. So they're putting it actually down into the valley is where they'll be doing. Over to the left, you probably can't see it right, but over to the left is Mount Leinster in County Carlow on the left-hand side.
Now that Stephen is showing, it's so beautiful, the area, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We then, as a group, because of the situation, to protect these areas, we are doing this petition, and we are planning to do a march to the Dáil on the 21st of May. It's a Tuesday. I'm going to share here with you guys. So this is the flyer for the march.
Yeah, and I suppose the three things that we're looking for in that is statutory regulation and guidelines for the planning of wind farms, and the same for the operating and monitoring of existing wind farms. And until those 1 and 2 are done, we need to stop all wind applications until
Right
those
now
safeguards are put in place. Yeah,
yes.
to protect the community. Yeah.
So thanks to all of you. That was really important, and we are still working. Just to clarify, we are all volunteers, and we are doing this to help each other, to help the other communities. We all here are dealing with this developments in different levels of stages, but we all here are suffering, and we want the regulations for now. So thanks very much for being here.
Yeah, and thanks for
Okay.
organizing and all the hard work, Bianca.
Thanks
I know
a million,
it's,
guys. Thanks
right,
for helping.
cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Visit our website for more information and help us by signing our petition for wind regulations. Thank you for watching.